Here we are at 3369 Francisco Street. There is an apartment complex of some form over there. You are on a corner here, and I'll go around the corner in a second and show you. Looking down the block, houses are pretty well maintained. Nothing decrepit or falling apart. And same thing if we come around this corner. That bush isn't really helping with the view. You can see quiet back streets. House is decently maintained at least. So, nice quiet little section of the neighborhood. Shouldn't have too much through traffic. Mostly just people either that live on the street or are coming here to visit the people that live here. As we take a look at the outside of the building, not too much to worry about. A little bit of wear here in the mortar and the brick. You can see there and there. They could probably use some repointing, but nothing major. Gutters are extending out at least 5 feet, 10 feet from the foundation, which is what is recommended to keep your basement dry. Roof, sun's a little bright, so I don't know how good a view that's going to give you, but the roof looks probably about halfway through its life or so, 15, 20 years. Obviously, a home inspector can give you a better judge of that from having a home inspection done if you have any interest. Again, you can see they've remortared some of the stone foundation over the years. So, windows look older. Probably, from here it looked to be single pane. So, that's something that, at least that big window, it looks like the other ones have been replaced at some point, but this big one they've kind of left as it is. And you can see here a pipe that goes out and up above the roof. That is a radon system, radon mitigation system. So basically it's dug below the level of your basement. It sucks all the radon particles out of the ground and ejects them out into the air above the level of the house so that the wind picks it up and spreads it out harmlessly. Now, as we walk into the house, there's tile floor here when you walk in the door. So this is definitely older tile. This stuff is thicker. It's going to last a good long time. It's more resilient than what's made nowadays. If we go to the left here, you have kind of a smaller sitting room, or at least when the house was built, that was what this would have been used for. So you can see the heating coil here. They still use boiler heat in the house. So your side sitting room here, standing in the corner, I'll kind of pan and let you see the size of the room. But if I had to guesstimate it, 12 to 14 by 10 to 12. So pretty nice size for a secondary space, not your main living space. Now across the hall, we come into your main living room. Again, I'll stand in the corner right next to the doorway, which does have the original pocket doors. Not a feature that you see a ton of nowadays. And they both glide easily. So, functioning pocket doors is a rarity. Usually the pulley system at some point rusts up or the rope wears out. So the fact that it still moves is a huge bonus for you. Again, kind of looking at the living room, I'd put it at 15 feet at least this way by, not counting the fireplace cut in there, another 14. The fireplace looks like it is now just decorative and has been capped off. You can see the lining in there. Nice almost bay window set up here. Not quite, since they're separate windows, but still gives you the same amount of sunlight and view outside of the house. As we come into the dining room, you have a built-in cabinet here for china and storage, and another one there. Again, very big dining room. This table with the insert is probably going to seat 6. You could probably get a 10 to 12 person dining room table in here easily if you wanted to. If you went diagonally, maybe even a little more. But tons and tons of room. The flooring is a little older, has a little more wear to it. You can see here some gaps in the seal of it, so probably at some point want to have that either redone or have the floor redone. It's not something that needs done immediately, but it's definitely something that I would imagine you'll be dealing with sooner rather than later. Now we head into the kitchen. For the age of the house, this is actually pretty big. Coming in from the hallway, you can actually get an idea. It's a pretty large space. They had another counter dropped here. It is on wheels, but I'm assuming it's going to stay with the house. I can ask about that if you have any interest. But with that, plus your corner there, you should have plenty of room for things, coffee, air fryer, that kind of stuff. So tons of space comparatively for this age kitchen. You have a side little pantry area here, so tons of extra storage for kitchen toys, your basics that you're going to use frequently. I'm gonna guess this goes to the basement. Yep, so we will get to that, but and this is gonna be your back stairwell to the kitchen, so you can actually come straight here from the stairway instead of having to go down around the front and come back in. Newer sink and fixture. There's a little crack there, so definitely not brand new, but it's a newer style. You can see a little bit of wear on the drain there as well. It is the removable head of the sink, and has updated piping and everything down there, the flex pipe and PVC. So we're gonna go over here to these two random doors and see. So you have your full bathroom here. Some of the fixtures are older. There's not even an actual head on the tub part down there, but you do have a newer shower head here. So you do have a bathroom for guests and everything like that, where you don't have to worry about, they're going into your main bathroom, they don't see your shampoo and all that fun, happy stuff. Oh, and we have another side room. So This, yeah, windows are those same newer, more modern, not really new. I'd still put them at least 25 years old to 35 years old, but you do have what could be a bedroom here. It has closet doors and a method of egress the windows from the room, so it is definitely considered a bedroom. As you can see, they don't use it that way. It's really just forgotten storage. While I fight with the door, looks like the plaster has started to wear here a little bit. It looks like here they actually replaced it with drywall. So, but that's not really a problem. You could have someone come in and fix that relatively easily if that's the only problem area. Okay, not sure what's behind that door, but we'll see if we can figure it out from the other side. I know we were in here, I don't remember a doorway, but just double check. No. Might be a doorway that everything made one big circle and they just closed it off. This actually does appear to have been drywalled at one point, so it could be hidden behind that framing for the drywall. Oh, that's a nice touch. Again, I don't know if it'll stay with the house, but they have a nice little clock there that definitely goes with the age of the house, kind of matches everything else. So we've done all this. I'll give you a quick peek out. We'll look later at the backyard. Now I'll go ahead and loop around and we'll take a look at the upstairs. Gotta love too, the original wood for the railings and the stairs are still here. So obviously needs touched up, either repainted or sanded and refinished would be my recommendation. I think hardwood with a good finish on it, there's nothing that looks better than that 100-year-old hardwood. So we head into a bedroom, the first bedroom on the right. Has a decent amount of closet space. For the age of the house, most closets in this age of house would only be about this deep. So not even half. Looks like they closed the doorway between this and another bedroom. And you have a second bedroom that connects with this one. Does it? Okay, so yeah, this is the second bedroom not captured. That door heads out to the hallway right here. Again, a piece of drywall that they closed off. All the rooms connecting. And for this era, this era's version of early 1900s walk-in closet. Using the dormer space, not wanting to use that for the main room, they cut it off and made a walk-in closet out of it. So tons of storage space. This is probably, from what I've seen, what I'd consider the master bedroom. But very nice having all that extra storage. And you actually have another closet here as well. A little bit of paint chipping, water damage at some point. I'm guessing there was a leak in the roof, or just general humidity caused the plaster to age. I mean, 100-year-old plaster, it's gonna it's gonna age and obviously have issues once you hit a certain point. So it's a closet. They never felt the need to fix that up or redo it, and it doesn't look like it's actively leaking. I don't see any brown stains around the paint chipping. That's there, maybe slightly. There was water infiltration at some point. But nothing that was major. And obviously if it's not all coming down, it was a smaller leak and it was addressed at some point, or you would see particles and more plaster falling, more plaster coming down every time it rained. And there is another nice little cut in here, so you could put a decent sized dresser or big hanging cabinet, 6 feet, 7 feet tall. Tons of extra storage options for in here, or even a small little desk and chair to use for a little office. Whatever you want to do, space always gives you options. So those are bedrooms 1 and 2. One that we're walking out of, 2 right here. This is bedroom number 3. You can see, like I said, they sealed it with drywall. This isn't very big. They use it as a bedroom. This is probably more for your guys' situation in office type space. You could use it for that. You could use it for storage. You put a bunch of standalone clothes racks in here and use it as a walk-in closet. If whatever bedroom doesn't have a lot of storage, needs extra, this could be basically just a huge walk-in closet too. So tons of different things for you to think about. Bathroom on the 2nd floor. Now this has been redone more recently. The tub is still original. That was just left there. They didn't replace it. And then they put in, this is thinner, so this is basically just a insert that they put in. Now there is no ventilation in here. There's a window and a fan, but obviously they weren't using it because you can see humidity damage. They're trying to patch up there of the humidity, damaging the plaster, making it start chipping everything else that we saw in that closet. You have a small standalone sink here and toilet. There's a linen closet built in here. Again, humidity, old paint over the years just has chipped away. This tile here is definitely older. I'd say if it's a day, it's probably 40 years old minimum, but hard to tell because there's so much. Looks like they tried to regrout it to try to clean it up and then didn't really wipe clean outside the edges. So we're gonna head to the 4th bedroom up here on this floor. Again, this is a big one. You have your own closet space with another walk-in closet. Hooks here, looks like a railing for hanging things on the end. You could easily add more the rest of the length. So tons of storage space. For it being the 3 of you, you could each take one of these big master bedrooms, have a walk-in closet. This one, obviously, like I said, has the cut-in as well, so you can put more storage in here with a nice stand-up dresser and, put clothing there. Obviously, that whole wall could fit a bed and nightstands easily, so you have all this extra space to work with too for other dressers, bureaus, any type of storage really. So that is the upstairs. Now we'll go take a look at the basement and get an idea what the foundation looks like, all the mechanical stuff. Basically all the stuff that costs you money. So I would be running a dehumidifier down here. Definitely smells musty. You can see the mason stone foundation. Big blocks of mason stone, not the small little jigsaw puzzle types. Over there in that corner, the radon system I talked about when we were walking around outside. So PVC again, more modern piping. So we'll try to find the main out for the sewer. Is some copper line here. Not a huge deal, at least it's copper, but we'll see if there's any of the main sewer stack that is still cast iron or if that's all been replaced. But again, huge amount of basement space. Another coal cellar type storage area. Again, from coming down the stairs, just tons and tons of space. Again, signs of an old house. There's still bark on the tree that's running under the main I-beam. So they basically hacked the tree, cut it to the size, and cemented it in place as support for the main I-beam of the house. So no metal poles, no 2x4s. It was just, they took a tree that looked to be the right size, cut it to size, left the bark on it and everything, and put it down there. So you have your laundry area back here, your stationary tub, washer dryer, hot water tank over here. They give me a cheat here. It says 10/28/24, so hot water tank's only about a year old. Here's the main sewer stack. So that part going out is into this is still all cast iron. Not a huge deal, but at some point it's iron, water. It's going to rust through. It'll need replaced. You can see the accumulation on here of the age and wearing down of the piping. So I try to vault some of the obstacles and get a decent look at the breaker box. 100 amps. Looks like there's still 2 open panels, so still room to expand the breaker box, but yeah, only 100 amps for a house this size. That is kind of surprising, but it could be worse. It is a breaker box. Everything coming into and going out of it is modern wiring. So no cloth wrapped wiring from the 1920s, 30s to the 50s. No knob and tube wiring from even earlier, which is a fire hazard. You'll have a hard time even finding insurance companies that will insure homes with knob and tube wiring in it anymore. And this is the boiler system. This looks new. Year or two old. You've seen all the pipes running with insulated tape and insulation around them. That is your hot water heat running throughout the house. It has an extra large expansion tank. I mean, everything about this is not just new, but new and very, very well done. All the copper piping shines pretty much, this not so much, but all the rest of this copper piping, the joints are shiny and new. So a lot of this was replaced when the boiler system was replaced. This is pretty top of the line system, you know, for a boiler system. So I mean, that part of it, you don't have to worry about anything really for 20 years plus, 25 years. I mean, boilers tend to age a little bit better than furnaces. It's usually the pipes that are more you know, they don't age as well because pipes water. Eventually you have to replace that. Not really, that looks like it's something to do with internet maybe. So nothing, internet or security system. I'm not vaulting old tires to try to figure it out, but nothing that is, you know, end of the world to your decision for purchasing the house. So overall, not dry, not overly wet. I don't see any puddles. I mean, they have all this stuff laying down here, cardboard and such, just strewn on the ground. So I don't even know if there's any real water infiltration or if it's just humidity and must that's getting through. So for the age of the basement and it being this potentially dry is very impressive. But that's the house in a nutshell. Let me know what questions you have and what I can do for you if you have any interest in coming to see it in person. Oh, sorry. Realized I didn't take you out to see the backyard yet, so it is a nice fenced-in backyard. I can tell there's a dog bed with recent fur on it, so they definitely have dogs that they let run around the yard. So the fence is, you know, the size of the bed. They're not small dogs. So the fence is definitely sufficient to keep them in place at your typical 6-foot wood privacy fence. Looks like there is a gate over there, but you have tons of room. You have your deck here, not huge. You could get like a 4 or 6 person table, but that's about it. But you have all this extra room where you could put your grill, anything else like that down here on the concrete. So nice yard space, more than enough room for for you guys just to kind of hang out. The trees, I mean, it's about 5:30, somewhere in there. Trees provide a great amount of shade, so you're not going to get beat up by the sun back here. You can sit and enjoy yourself in shade and comfort, even if it's hot out. At least the sun's not beating on you. It's relatively comfortable. So, yeah, and it looks like they've cut back the trees, so they're not causing any issues with the fence. They've kept those well enough away from them. And again, getting a look at the roof from this side. With the sun not in my eyes, and not blaring the camera, you can actually get a better view of the roof from here. So, again, not new, not like, oh my God, I need to replace it right now, but something you can plan in the next 10 years, 5 to 10 years, to either do some spot repairs or replace the roof. And again, you can always get a home warranty as well. A home warranty would allow you to ride it out when you have a leak. You call them, they'll send someone out to fix it. If they can't fix it, they replace it. But if you have questions about home warranties, I can go into more detail, not on the video. So now, again, for real this time, that's the house in a nutshell. And I'll be in touch to see if you have any questions.